the guided journey is to set us up in a way that makes us available to the healing potential that we have within ourselves. And life has this way of distracting us, has this way of making us feel like we are, well, like life's happening to us. And in that way, life becomes very subjective. And we forget about our objectivity. We forget that we're having a spiritual experience. And that we have within us the potential to do just about anything. And that potential is what I believe is the most important thing for us to be recognizing as human beings, is what our actual potential is. And the way that we get there is by getting into the objective state, and recognizing that we actually have some power over what happens in life. So rather than life happening to us, we make life happen. And so my objective every time that I do this is to get people into that place of making life happen, into removing, or at least setting aside, or maybe even healing the part of us that is having that subjective experience, that's causing us to react to the world instead of respond to it. So whenever we do the guided journey, its purpose is really to get us into a state of experience where we can come into connection with our own divinity, that healing potential within us. And tonight, the message that came to me a few weeks ago was about what happens in the in-between. And the journey that we did last month was really powerful because it was about reclaiming a part of us that has energetically been given over to something that's happening on this planet right now, something that we can't really describe or understand, but we see it every day in politics. We see it every day in military action. We see it every day when we sense that there are things that are not following a path of a loving and compassionate evolution for our species. And it's not that death and decay doesn't happen in a very natural way already, but there's something that humans seem to be doing that perpetuate that, as opposed to letting it happen on its own accord. And you can see that in war. You can see that in militarized action. We are pushing the envelope of the possibility of moving what is natural to not natural. We do that in industrialized society through our research and development when we try to manipulate what is here naturally. The gross example is the atom bomb, right? Were we meant to be splitting the atom? Was it already perfect to begin with? Did it ever need to be split? And when it was split, it caused massive destruction. So that is human beings pushing this envelope that never really needed to be pushed. So what is that force that perpetuates this type of action? And if it's not natural, how did we pull ourselves back from it? How did we get the essence back from whatever is creating that and reclaim it for ourselves? This month felt very much like a continuation of last month, in that if you have your essence, if you know the difference between the subjective and the objective realities, how do you recognize it? Because many of us fall into subjective reality. and stay there for long periods of time. So subjective reality looks like an internal voice is constantly speaking. It's always wondering about whether you did the right thing or whether you're going to do the right thing. It's always worried about, how do I heal or fix this hurt or this ache or this incompleteness that I sense in myself? It's always looking for something new to bring answers or resolution to something. And it's always wondering, what can I do in the future that I don't repeat this thing that I'm doing right now? Or how can I make my life better? That's a subjective experience. An objective experience is more like, everything right now is just perfect. Because I have choice. I have free will, and I can exercise my choice and free will with the next step that I take in life. It's the recognition that the next step that you take in life is the most important step because it's the only one you really have any control over. And it's present to that. It knows, it embodies that awareness. An objective experience might also look like, I am complete with whatever is happening right now. I can choose to change it, or I could choose not to change it. In either way, I'm okay with it. And that doesn't mean that, it's kind of like forgiveness. They always say, you can forgive, but not necessarily forget something, right? So forgiveness is not saying that it's okay. Forgiveness is saying, I'm just not going to give my energy to it anymore. I'm not going to empower it by feeling it any longer. And the objective experience is similar in that it's not saying that everything is okay in terms of it could be better or it might be worse, but it's saying that I'm present with whatever is right now. And I'm willing to accept whatever is right now. And if I make the choice that I want to change it, if I make the choice that I might have some influence over it, then I can direct my action toward the next step, the one that I have control over. And maybe bring some part of myself that is not caught up in an emotional experience over it, but is present with it, accepts it how it is, and then from that place can make the next decision for what might be another outcome that I can direct my energy toward. So that objective experience to me tonight feels like what the in-between is. And so I gave you just a lot of data just now, okay? But when we move into the journey, it's not going to be about data. It's actually going to be about experience. And to me, that was the most important part of what tonight's journey is. It's about experiencing something. It's about experiencing that objectivity, but it's even more than that. It's about experiencing the divinity within ourselves in a way that in many other journeys I've gotten other ways of bringing ourselves to a place of the healed state so that we can bring that healed state into our chant. But tonight it's about really embodying this infinite part of ourselves, something that goes way beyond this physical experience that we're having. Not just this one in this lifetime that we're collected in this room around, but the experience that that infinite part of ourselves influences every part of this fractal soul-based experience that we have had over many lifetimes, in many bodies, on many planets, in many ways of teaching and learning that we do as part of our spiritual evolution. I'm going to invite you now to bring your awareness into your body through your breath. And as you do so, imagine that you're unplugging or disconnecting from the outside world. You might imagine that you're pulling a cord into your solar plexus from any situation or place or even person that might otherwise be distracting you tonight. There are lots of situations going on in everyone's life. And for this moment, give yourself an opportunity to disconnect from those things. They will always be there later. But you owe it to yourself. You deserve to have some time away from whatever's going on in your life to do your own personal healing. So allow yourself to disconnect, reeling in any cords that you have connected to other people, places, or situations. And reel that cord into the solar plexus area behind the stomach. And follow the breath into the body, allowing yourself to become totally aware of the body and how it feels right now. Keep following the breath, allowing your attention to focused on the sounds. Just focusing on sounds. For you to bring your attention to your feet. See if you can really feel what your feet feel like right now. Can you bring your breath all the way down into the feet? What would it be like if you are breathing in and out of the body through your feet? As if the feet were like sponges, as if you were pulling in the universe through your feet. As if you were drawing the earth up into your body with each breath through your feet. Standing on a road. And you can feel your feet on the ground. And where does that road go? Quite possibly is a new road that you haven't experienced before. And it may be something that looks familiar from some other experience that you've had. focus on the road and start to walk upon it. And as you walk, you're walking slowly and deliberately by first placing the heel of your foot down and then rolling onto the ball of your foot, and then lastly allowing the toes to hit before you roll up again, lifting your foot off the ground. Step by step, each step is slow, deliberate, dropping the heel first, rocking onto the ball of the foot and then the toes. Each step, slow, deliberate, heel to toe. Each step with intention. Feel each footstep on the ground. Notice, is it soft or smooth, or is it rough? Is it rocky? Just notice what it's like. And keep your attention on each footstep. As you walk, I'm going to invite you to start shedding parts of yourself. You don't have to worry about whether this is an act of privacy or not, because this is your own path, and you're the only one on it. So imagine that there's no worry of whether you're cold or hot. It's the perfect temperature, and it's available to you to allow your clothes to start to disintegrate off of your body, starting with whatever is covering your torso. As you walk slowly and deliberately, whatever is on your torso starts to disintegrate and fall off of your body. As you continue to walk deliberately, keeping your focus on your feet, whatever you're wearing over your legs also starts to disintegrate and simply falls from your body. And you may start to notice that as these clothes fall off of your body, you feel a little bit lighter. And now, any other things that you may have been wearing on your body, undergarments, hats, gloves, anything else, start to disintegrate and fall away from your body. And you start to notice how it feels so freeing, so liberating, to not have any garments obstructing your movement, your slow, deliberate steps, as you keep your attention focused on your feet, rocking heel to toe. continue to walk heel to toe, a new experience occurs that at first you find challenging to your conscious mind. Your skin is starting to disintegrate and is turning to dust, falling away from your body. This includes all of the hair on your body. And you actually find it liberating because there are no more worries about having to take care of your skin or how it looks. Suddenly you find that your consciousness is free from having to be concerned about the physical appearance of your body, how liberating it feels to escape from this as you continue to walk heel to toe, feeling the ground beneath your feet. You're beginning to feel even lighter as you notice that the muscles of your body are also starting to turn to dust and falling away. Again, you feel even lighter than you did before as you continue to walk heel to toe, deliberately on this path. And then you notice, without the muscles holding things in place, that your internal organs are starting to also fall away from your body, turning to dust. And again, you feel even lighter than you did before. Letting go of the worry about whether your health is good or not. It seems to not matter anymore. You just feel the sense of liberation, a sense of lightness, and how wonderful it feels to feel so light and carefree. And then as you continue to walk heel to toe, you notice that your brain is just disintegrating, and the head feels so much lighter than it used to. In fact, there's nothing to have to think about. How liberating it is to not have to worry about anything. And then you notice that all the veins and arteries of the body are also turning to dust, falling away, until you're just a skeleton walking heel to toe on this path. It feels so light and freeing being just a skeleton, until your skull falls away and you are just legs and arms and spine, rib cage, collarbone, walking heel to toe. Nothing to have to balance up top. And that's in itself liberating. Until the collarbones and the arms fall away. And you continue to walk heel to toe. And then you notice that the rib cage falls away. You feel so light and free, it's almost as if you could fly. As you continue to walk heel to toe. continue walking along the path, the spine itself falls away, till you are just legs, walking heel to toe along the path. And then the ilium falls away, the hips fall away, the femurs fall away. You're just everything below the knees walking along this path, until the shins fall away, and you are simply feet walking along the path, lighter than air itself. And then the feet themselves disintegrate and fall away as you continue to walk along the path. And then you notice something. You notice who you are walking along this path has never been your physical body, your physical form. You are simply walking along the path in your true self, in your true nature, liberated, free, without the brain, without the body, without the emotions, without the thoughts, without the fantasies, without the feelings. What is left? Your true nature. And then you may ask yourself, do I even need this path? And if I didn't have this path, what would I be able to experience about myself? You might imagine that you are surrounded by an infinite number of stars, an infinite number of colors, and that you are like a great light shining into the universe. What would it be like to be pure light? To be pure potential. What would it be like to allow yourself to fully experience this pure potential? What would it be like to accept how powerful you are? What would it be like shamanic to shine brilliantly. To illuminate the universe.